Hello, this is going to be chapter 3 of my book called Living with Asperger's Syndrome. Chapter 3 is about my earliest memories. The first thing that I can remember is being in my crib at night. There was a light shining under the door to my room. The door is closed and the lights in my room are off. I am trying to sleep, lying on my back with a brown teddy bear in my arms. I hear my name said from my mother, which is in the dining room, down the hall from my room. It wakes me up and I try to hear the rest of the conversation about me, but can't make out what is being said, so I try to go back to sleep. The second thing that I can remember is trying to walk with both of my parents holding one of my hands. My mom was holding my right hand and my dad was holding my left hand. I was not wearing glasses at the time and could not see my own 2 feet, let alone anything else, so I kept tripping over my feet. My parents would try and get me walking whenever they could, and I just kept tripping over my feet, and they could not understand that it was because I could not see anything. The third thing that I can remember is sitting right underneath the TV with my nose almost touching the screen. I did this every day till I got glasses and could see what was on the TV. I was 3 years old when my parents finally took me to an eye doctor to get my eyes tested. I ended up having 420 vision in my left eye and 220 in my right eye. I ended up also having a lazy eye in my left eye. I wore an eye patch on my right eye to strengthen up my left eye. Plus, from that point forward, I had to wear glasses. I was considered legally blind without my glasses. I started preschool that year also, but I spent most of the time hiding under the tables instead of playing with the other children. It was in a church near where we were renting at the time and had a great playground. My parents also used to take me to the local elementary school to use their playground. I used to love the swings there and the sandbox. In the house we were renting, we had a young family living in the basement with a little girl who I used to play with. We lived in an apartment before renting the house, but I do not remember anything about that. I got an ear infection in my right ear when I was 2. That was not caught till it was too late, so I am partially hearing impaired in that ear. When my parents moved from Brandon, Manitoba to Nanaimo, BC, it was one of the hottest summers on record. We left the middle of August 1984 to have a new start in a new city where the weather was much nicer than that of the prairies. On the way, I got a bad case of heat stroke and had to be taken to the hospital in Kamloops, BC. My parents had to give me cold showers and popsicles to get me rehydrated and drop my temperature. We were taking different cars when we got to the ferry in Vancouver. My dad was in the moving van and my mom and me were in the car. We were able to get on the ferry, but my dad, with the moving van, did not. He had all the information about where we were going once the ferry landed. We had all the money with us, so he could not buy anything. When the ferry landed, my mom just found a place to park and we waited for my dad with the moving van to come on the next ferry. My mom got very sick with the flu later that day, so my dad had to unload everything from the moving van into the new apartment by himself up 2 sets of stairs, while me and my mom laid down and had a nap. We went to Disney World in Orlando, Florida the winter before moving to Nanaimo, BC. I do not remember much of that trip. Also on that trip, we went to Mexico, where I do remember being on a beach with lots of Mexican little kids rubbing my hair because they had never seen red hair before. I had my second birthday in Mexico at some timeshare resort that my parents had. I do not remember much about that either. When I was 2, I got the Japanese measles and got very sick, but I survived and built up a good resistance to the measles. That is it for chapter 3. Chapter 4 is coming up later. Thank you.